You've been trying to manifest love and rejection keeps showing up. You've been affirming abundance and scarcity keeps appearing. You've been visualizing success and failure keeps finding you. And you think you're doing something wrong, that you're not good enough at manifestation, that the universe doesn't like you, that the law of attraction is broken. But none of that is true. You're manifesting perfectly. The quantum field is responding exactly as it should. The problem isn't that manifestation doesn't work. The problem is you're manifesting the opposite of what you consciously want, because your subconscious wants something different. And the subconscious always wins. Here's what's actually happening. You have two minds, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and they're not working together. They're working against each other. Your conscious mind, the part you're aware of, the part that decides things and sets intentions and chooses what to focus on, that mind wants what you say you want. Love, money, success, freedom, whatever it is you've been trying to manifest. And that conscious mind is doing everything right. It's visualizing, it's affirming, it's feeling into the desired outcome. It's following all the manifestation techniques perfectly. But the conscious mind is only about 5% of your total mental processing. 5%. The other 95%? That's the subconscious. And the subconscious isn't visualizing what you want. It's preparing for what it expects. And what it expects is usually the opposite of what you consciously desire. Because the subconscious isn't operating on hope. It's operating on history, on pattern, on protection. And history says good things don't last. Pattern says you always get hurt. Protection says expecting the worst is safer than hoping for the best. And here's the problem. The quantum field doesn't respond to your 5%. It responds to your 95%. It responds to the dominant frequency, the loudest signal, the most consistent broadcast. And the loudest signal isn't coming from your conscious visualizations. It's coming from your subconscious expectations. So you sit there affirming I am abundant, while your subconscious is broadcasting money always runs out. You visualize the perfect relationship while your subconscious is transmitting love always leaves. You feel into success while your subconscious is screaming I'm not good enough. And the field, which is neutral, which doesn't judge, which just matches and reflects, it hears the louder signal, the subconscious one, and it manifests that, not what you want, what you expect. And what you expect at the deepest level is shaped by the subconscious, by beliefs you didn't consciously choose, by programming that was installed years ago, by protection mechanisms that made sense when you were young and powerless but don't make sense now. And those beliefs, those programs, those mechanisms, they're running in the background, broadcasting constantly, creating your reality. And the reality they create is the opposite of what you consciously want. Because they're not trying to give you what you want. They're trying to keep you safe. And safe to the subconscious means predictable, even if predictable is painful. And this is why manifestation feels so frustrating, because you're doing everything you've been taught to do. You're visualizing, you're affirming, you're raising your vibration, you're feeling grateful, and nothing is working. Or worse, the opposite is working. You're manifesting exactly what you don't want. And you can't figure out why. And the reason is this split. This war between your conscious desires and your subconscious expectations. And as long as that war is happening, as long as 5% wants one thing and 95% expects another, the 95% is going to win. Every time. Not because the universe is against you, because the subconscious is louder. And louder is what the field hears. And what the field hears is what manifests. And what's manifesting right now, in your life, in your relationships, in your bank account, in your circumstances, that's not what your conscious mind asked for. That's what your subconscious mind expected. And expected is what you got. And you're going to keep getting it until you see the split. Until you understand that you have two minds broadcasting two different signals. Until you learn to align them. To make the conscious and the subconscious want the same thing, to unify the signal, so the field can finally respond clearly, so manifestation can finally work the way you thought it was supposed to. And alignment is possible, but it requires seeing what you couldn't see before. And what you couldn't see is what we're about to reveal. Your conscious mind says, I deserve love. Your subconscious says, love always leaves. Your conscious mind says, I am abundant. Your subconscious says, money isn't safe. Your conscious mind says, I am worthy of success. Your subconscious says, visibility is dangerous. And the gap between what you consciously believe and what you subconsciously expect, that gap is what's creating the opposite results. Because the subconscious doesn't believe what the conscious believes. And the subconscious doesn't update just because you decided to think differently. It updates through experience, through repetition, through evidence so consistent that it overwrites the old programming. And until that happens, until the subconscious is convinced that the new belief is safer than the old belief, it's going to keep broadcasting the old one. And the old one is what's manifesting, not because it's true, because it's loud. And here's where those beliefs came from. They weren't installed yesterday. They weren't formed last year. They were built over time, through experiences that hurt, through moments that taught you that the world isn't safe, that people leave, that good things don't last, that you're not enough. And those moments, those painful formative moments, they created conclusions about how reality works, about what you can expect, about what's possible for you. And those conclusions became beliefs. And those beliefs became your subconscious operating system, the invisible software running in the background, shaping your perception, filtering your experience, broadcasting your expectations. And you don't even know it's there, because it's subconscious, below consciousness, operating in the dark, making decisions for you, manifesting for you, creating outcomes based on logic that made sense when you were 7 but doesn't make sense now. And here's the thing about subconscious beliefs. They were protective once. They helped you survive environments where those beliefs were accurate, where love did leave, where money wasn't safe, where visibility was punished. And the subconscious, which is designed to keep you alive, learned. It said, this is how the world works. This is what I need to expect. This is how I keep you safe. And it installed those beliefs as permanent truths, as operating principles, as the foundation of how you navigate reality. And they worked. They kept you safe. They helped you survive. But survival and thriving are not the same thing. And the beliefs that kept you safe in a dangerous environment are the same beliefs that keep you stuck in a safe environment. Because they're still running, still broadcasting, still expecting the worst, even though the worst isn't happening anymore, even though you're not in that environment anymore, even though you're not that powerless child anymore. The subconscious doesn't know that. It's still operating on old data, still running programs from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And those programs are what's manifesting your current reality. And the cruelest part is you don't remember installing them. You don't remember the moment you decided, I'm not enough, or good things don't last, or I always get hurt. Those weren't conscious decisions. They were unconscious conclusions drawn from repeated experiences. And once they were drawn, once they became beliefs, they became invisible. You stopped questioning them, stopped noticing them. They just became the background noise of your mind, the lens through which you see everything. And that lens is distorting what you see. It's making you interpret neutral events as confirmations of your unworthiness. It's making you perceive opportunities as threats. It's making you expect rejection even when acceptance is being offered. And that expectation, that subconscious expectation, that's the signal the quantum field is receiving. Not your conscious affirmations, your unconscious assumptions. And assumptions manifest, always, because the field doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you expect. It just reads frequency. And the frequency of expectation is louder than the frequency of desire. And expectation shaped by old beliefs is what's creating your current circumstances. And your current circumstances are confirming the old beliefs. And the old beliefs are reinforcing the current circumstances. And you're stuck in a loop. A manifestation loop where the subconscious creates what it expects, and what it expects is based on what it experienced, and what it experienced is being recreated, because that's what it expects. And breaking that loop requires seeing it. Seeing that your subconscious isn't manifesting what you want. It's manifesting what it learned to expect. From a time when those expectations were accurate. But that time is over. And the beliefs need updating. And updating starts with seeing what's actually running. What's actually broadcasting. What your subconscious actually believes. And what it believes is about to become very clear. You can't change what you can't see. And you can't see your subconscious beliefs directly, because they're subconscious. But you can see their effects. You can see what they're creating because your reality is the mirror. It's reflecting back exactly what your subconscious is broadcasting, not what you consciously want, what you unconsciously expect. And if you want to know what your subconscious believes, stop looking at your thoughts. Start looking at your results, because your results don't lie. Your thoughts can lie. Your affirmations can lie. Your visualizations can lie. But your results? Your results are showing you exactly what frequency you're actually holding, what signal you're actually sending, what your subconscious actually believes is possible for you. And what's possible for you, according to your subconscious, is showing up in your life right now. In your relationships, in your bank account, in your opportunities, in the patterns that keep repeating. And those patterns, those results, they're not random. They're not bad luck. They're manifestations, perfect manifestations, of subconscious beliefs you didn't know you had. So here's how you identify them. You look at what keeps showing up, not what you want to show up, what actually shows up, what repeats, what patterns run through your life like a thread connecting everything. And those patterns reveal the belief. If you keep attracting partners who are emotionally unavailable, that's not bad luck. That's a subconscious belief manifesting. And the belief is probably something like, I'm not worthy of full love, or intimacy isn't safe, or I'll be abandoned if I get too close. If you keep experiencing financial struggle right when things start to stabilize, that's not coincidence. That's a subconscious belief manifesting. And the belief is probably something like money isn't safe, or I don't deserve to be comfortable, or abundance means I'll lose something else. If you keep self-sabotaging right before success, that's not weakness. That's a subconscious belief manifesting. And the belief is probably something like visibility is dangerous, or success means I'll be alone, or I'm not capable of handling it. Every pattern in your life is connected to a belief in your subconscious. And the belief is creating the pattern, and the pattern is confirming the belief. And the loop continues until you see it. And here's the simplest way to identify what your subconscious believes. Ask yourself, what's the opposite of what I consciously want? And then ask, is that what I keep getting? If you want love and you keep getting rejection, your subconscious believes rejection is what's coming. If you want abundance and you keep getting scarcity, your subconscious believes scarcity is inevitable. If you want success and you keep getting failure, your subconscious believes failure is safer. And the subconscious isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you by giving you what it expects. So you're not surprised. So you're not devastated. So you stay in control of a predictable outcome even if that outcome is painful. And that strategy, that protective strategy, it made sense when you were powerless, when you couldn't control your environment, when expecting the worst was the only way to prepare for it. But you're not powerless anymore. And expecting the worst isn't protecting you. It's creating the worst. Because expectation manifests. And your subconscious expectations are manifesting the opposite of what you want. And they're going to keep manifesting it until you see them. Until you name them. Until you acknowledge that the pattern isn't random. It's generated by beliefs that are outdated. By programming that needs updating. By a subconscious that's still trying to keep you safe using methods that no longer serve you. And updating those methods, changing those beliefs, aligning the subconscious with the conscious, that's what makes manifestation work. That's what stops the opposite from appearing. That's what allows what you actually want to finally show up. And showing up starts with seeing what's been hidden, what's been broadcasting, what your subconscious actually believes. And now you can see it, in your patterns, in your results, in the mirror of your reality. And seeing is the first step, changing is the second, and changing is what comes next. Affirmations don't work on the subconscious. I need you to hear that clearly. Because if you've been trying to reprogram your subconscious with affirmations, you've been using the wrong tool. Affirmations are a conscious mind tool. They're language, they're thoughts, they're words you repeat. And the subconscious doesn't speak that language. It doesn't change because you said something different. It changes when it feels something different, when it experiences something different, when new data comes in so consistently that the old programming can't hold anymore. And that process isn't quick. It's not a 7-day challenge. It's not a 30-day manifestation sprint. It's a deep, embodied reprogramming that requires you to feel what you've been avoiding, to question what you've been assuming, to act as if the new belief is true before you believe it's true, and to do that repeatedly, until the new becomes more familiar than the old, until the subconscious finally accepts that the new is safer than the old, and then it updates. And when it updates, your manifestations change. Not because you got better at visualizing, because you changed what you're actually broadcasting. Here's the practice. And it's simple but not easy. When something triggers you, when rejection shows up, or scarcity appears, or failure happens, that's not a setback. That's the subconscious belief revealing itself, showing you what it believes. And instead of running from that moment, instead of trying to positive think your way out of it, you stop. You feel it, fully. You say, out loud or in your mind, I'm feeling unworthy right now. I'm feeling like I'm not enough. I'm feeling like this always happens to me. You name the belief. You let it be as loud as it wants to be. You don't fight it. You don't suppress it. You don't cover it with affirmations. You just feel it, and feeling it doesn't make it stronger. Feeling it reveals it. And revelation is the first step to change, because you can't change what you can't see. And the subconscious hides in the shadows, in the unfelt, in the avoided. And when you feel it, when you bring it into awareness, it's no longer subconscious, it's conscious. And conscious beliefs can be questioned. And that's the second step. After you feel it, you question it. You ask, is this actually true right now? Not was it true when I was 7? Not was it true in that relationship 10 years ago? Is it true right now? And most of the time the answer is no. The belief is old data, old evidence, old conclusions drawn from circumstances that no longer exist. And when you see that, when you recognize that the belief is operating on outdated information, you can update it. Not by forcing a new belief, by introducing new evidence, by acting as if the new belief is true. Even when you don't believe it yet, even when it feels fake, even when every part of you wants to retreat to the old pattern, you act as if. You behave as someone who believes they're worthy, who believes abundance is normal, who believes success is safe, and you do that consistently, repeatedly, until your subconscious has enough new data to question the old programming, until it starts to consider that maybe the new belief is more accurate than the old one. And when it considers that, when it starts to shift, your manifestations shift, because the broadcast shifted, and the broadcast is what manifests. If you're ready to stop letting your subconscious manifest the opposite of what you want, if you're ready to see what beliefs are actually running and start updating them, write, I see what I'm creating in the comments. Not as shame, as awareness. You see now that the patterns in your life aren't random. They're manifestations of subconscious beliefs. And those beliefs can change. But changing them requires feeling them first, questioning them second, and embodying the new belief third. And embodying means acting, not thinking, not affirming. Acting. Behaving as if the new belief is already true. And doing that until it becomes true. Until the subconscious accepts it. Until the broadcast aligns. And when the broadcast aligns, when conscious and subconscious are finally on the same page, manifestation stops being a battle, stops being confusing, stops delivering the opposite, and starts delivering what you actually want. Not because the universe changed, because you changed. From the inside out, from the subconscious up, and that change is what makes everything else change. And here's what you need to understand about this process. It's uncomfortable because you're feeling things you've been avoiding. You're questioning beliefs you've held as truth for years. You're acting in ways that feel fake before they feel real. And discomfort is where most people stop. They feel the old belief and they can't handle it, so they run back to affirmations. They question the belief and the fear is too loud, so they retreat to the familiar. They try to act as if, and it feels wrong, so they give up. And giving up means staying stuck. Means the subconscious keeps broadcasting the old belief. Means the opposite keeps manifesting. But if you can sit with the discomfort, if you can feel the belief without letting it run you, if you can question it without needing immediate relief, if you can act as if until as if becomes actual, then you reprogram, then you align, then you manifest what you want instead of what you fear. And what you want is possible. It's just on the other side of the discomfort you've been avoiding. And avoiding is what's been keeping you stuck. And facing is what sets you free. When your conscious mind and your subconscious mind finally want the same thing. When 5% and 95% are broadcasting the same signal, manifestation stops being work. It stops being something you have to force, something you have to monitor, something you have to manage with constant vigilance. It becomes natural, automatic, effortless. Not because manifestation got easier, because your signal got clearer. And clear signals manifest faster, more accurately, more aligned than mixed signals ever could. Because the quantum field isn't receiving contradiction anymore. It's not hearing, "I want love," from your conscious mind, and love isn't safe from your subconscious. It's hearing one unified message, one coherent frequency. And coherent frequencies create coherent results. And coherent results are what you've been trying to manifest all along. You just couldn't get them because your signal was split. And split signals create split results. Or no results. Or opposite results. But unified signals? Unified signals manifest. Consistently. Clearly. In ways that feel almost too easy. In ways that make you wonder why it was ever hard. And here's what alignment feels like. It feels like desire without desperation. Like you want something but you're not frantic about it. Like you can visualize the outcome and feel good about it without immediately checking to see if it's here yet. Like you can affirm abundance without that nagging voice in the back of your mind saying, "But what if it doesn't work?" Like you can take action toward your goal without sabotaging yourself the moment things start working. That's alignment. When the wanting and the expecting are the same. When what you consciously desire and what you subconsciously believe is possible are no longer at war. When you can hold a vision without undermining it. And that state, that aligned state, it's not something you achieve through more techniques. It's something you arrive at through integration, through making the subconscious conscious, through updating the beliefs, through proving to yourself, through action and evidence and consistent new experiences, that the new belief is safe. And when it's safe, the subconscious adopts it. And when the subconscious adopts it, the broadcast changes. And when the broadcast changes, reality changes. Not eventually. Quickly. And you'll know you're aligned when manifestation starts feeling different. When synchronicities increase. When the right people appear at the right time. When opportunities show up without you forcing them. When things work out in ways you didn't plan but are better than what you planned. When you stop being surprised that good things are happening because good things happening feels normal now. That's what aligned manifestation looks like. It's not magical. It's not mystical. It's just clear. Your signal is clear. Your frequency is coherent. And the field is responding to that clarity, giving you what you're broadcasting, and what you're broadcasting finally is what you actually want, not what you fear, not what you expect based on old data, what you want based on who you are now. And who you are now is someone whose conscious and subconscious are working together, not against each other. And working together is what creates the life you've been trying to manifest. The love that stays, the abundance that flows, the success that feels natural, all of it. Not because you got better at affirmations, because you aligned the two minds, and aligned minds manifest aligned realities. And aligned realities are what you're about to experience. Not someday, soon, because alignment is happening now, and now is when everything changes. Looking back, you're going to see it differently. The subconscious that's been manifesting the opposite of what you want, the beliefs that have been sabotaging your desires, the programming that's been creating the patterns you hate. None of it was trying to hurt you. All of it was trying to protect you. In the only way it knew how, with the only information it had, using strategies that made sense when they were installed but don't make sense now. Your subconscious wasn't your enemy, it was your protector, operating with outdated methods, running programs from a time when those programs kept you safe, when expecting the worst meant you were prepared, when not hoping meant you couldn't be disappointed, when staying small meant you wouldn't be rejected. And those strategies worked. They kept you alive. They helped you survive environments where love wasn't safe, where money was unstable, where visibility was punished. And the subconscious, which doesn't understand nuance, which doesn't update automatically, kept running those strategies long after you left those environments, long after you grew up, long after you became powerful enough to handle what you were once too small to handle. And here's what that means. You don't have to hate your subconscious for manifesting the opposite. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to override it with force, you just have to update it. You have to show it, gently, consistently, through new experiences and new evidence, that the old strategies aren't needed anymore, that expecting the worst doesn't protect you anymore, that staying small doesn't keep you safe anymore, that the environment changed, that you changed, that the beliefs that served you once are limiting you now. And when you approach reprogramming from that place, from compassion instead of frustration, from understanding instead of anger, the subconscious relaxes. It doesn't have to fight you. It doesn't have to defend the old programming. It can let go. It can update. It can adopt new beliefs. Not because you forced it, because you showed it that the new beliefs are safer than the old ones. And safety is all the subconscious ever wanted. For you, for itself, for the system it's been protecting all these years. And when you understand that, when you stop seeing the subconscious as the problem and start seeing it as a protector that needs updating, everything shifts. You stop fighting yourself. Stop being frustrated with your patterns. Stop wondering why you keep sabotaging. Because you see it now. You see that the sabotage was protection. The patterns were safety mechanisms. The opposite manifestations were the subconscious trying to keep you from hoping too much, wanting too much, reaching too much, because reaching meant risk, and risk meant potential pain, and pain was what it was designed to prevent. And it did its job perfectly. It kept you safe. But you don't need that level of safety anymore. You need growth. And growth requires risk, requires hoping, requires wanting, requires reaching. And your subconscious can learn that, can update its definition of safety, can understand that staying stuck is more dangerous now than reaching forward. But it needs you to lead, to show it, to prove through action that the new way works. And when you do that, when you consistently act from the new belief even when the old belief is screaming, the subconscious watches, learns, adjusts, and eventually adopts the new program. And when it adopts the new program, the manifestations change, from opposite to aligned, from fear-based to desire-based, from what you're trying to avoid to what you actually want. If you want the complete framework for identifying your specific subconscious beliefs, for understanding how to reprogram them without just affirmations, everything is in the ebook Awaken Your Quantum Power. Link in the pinned comment. This is for people who keep manifesting the opposite, who understand now that their subconscious has been running the show, who are ready to update the programming and align the signal so what they want can finally manifest. But whether you go deeper or not, you now understand the mechanism. Your subconscious has been manifesting the opposite of what you want, not because it hates you, because it was protecting you using outdated strategies. And those strategies created beliefs, and those beliefs created expectations, and expectations manifested. And what manifested was the opposite of your conscious desires. And that's why nothing was working. Not because manifestation is broken, because your signal was split. But split signals can be unified. Beliefs can be updated. The subconscious can be reprogrammed. Not through affirmations, through feeling, questioning, and embodying. Through showing the subconscious,